Amazon takes over the world and you own the Amazon stock, hey, you're going to make a lot of money because the Amazon stock is going to go up. But if the CEO of Amazon drives the company into the ground and they go bankrupt, you lose all of your money because now your money goes down to zero. And that risk can be a really hard pill to swallow for people, especially when things are going down, but it's very easy to understand when things are going up. But the alternative is, instead of investing in an individual company, you can look at investing in a fund. What are these funds? Well, you have index funds, ETFs, and mutual funds. The way that index funds work is these are what are considered passively managed funds, meaning they give you exposure to a certain group of stocks which is managed by a computer, which means that the fees that you pay on these funds are significantly lower than when they're managed by, say, a person. So there are index funds that give you exposure to something like the S&P 500, which is a group of the largest 500 companies on the stock market. And if one of the companies in this fund starts to struggle and they're no longer one of the 500 largest companies, a computer can kick that company out and put a new company in that where it's all automatic. So you have index funds that can give you exposure to many different types of funds, like the S&P 500 is one. There are index funds that can give you exposure to the Dow Jones. There are index funds that can give you exposure to the NASDAQ. There are index funds that give you exposure to healthcare stocks. There's a lot of different types of index funds out there, but these are generally passively managed, so the fees are less. The second thing about index funds is that there are restrictions to how often an index fund trades. So if you wanted to go out and buy the Amazon stock, you can buy and sell that stock in a second. Versus with an index fund, they generally only trade one time a day. This way, you don't have that same volatility and you can't have people just buying in and out of index funds. You can buy it or you can sell it once in a day, and that's it, because these are long-term investments. And the third thing you have to understand about index funds is that they generally have minimums of how much money you need to invest in order to purchase an index fund. It might be $500, it might be $3,500, it might be $5,000, where you have to invest a certain amount of money in order to own an index fund. A mutual fund works kind of like an index fund, except mutual funds are generally actively managed. So now, instead of having a computer manage and create the algorithms, with a mutual fund, you generally have a person, a money manager who is working to try to beat the market. Now,